My trip to Japan may have been cut a little short than I had planned, but it doesn't mean I wasn't able to bring back some goodies, so today we are going to be trying out $1 store washi tape. So really quick, I'm going to show you guys everything I got from washi tape to little trinkets that are just too cute, and then we will get to creating. So to start off, we have all of our basic color washi tapes, and I was able to find these at the store Can Do. It's good to know you can get some basic colors. They're bright and colorful, but they're basic. Hold on, I just opened up this washi tape package, and I'm just so impressed by this. In the back of the packaging, it comes with this little piece of plastic with a grid on it, and it explains that you can wrap some washi tape on it, multiple pieces even, and put it on your notebook and just have it with you whenever you need to, like in your planner or something, so you don't have to have like a big roll of washi tape, but just like a little bit wrapped up if you need it. That is so cool. Our second category, I suppose, of washi tape is going to be sort of our secondary and just any additional colors that aren't your basic rainbow colors. Unfortunately, it didn't seem to be very stocked well, so this was actually every single color that was available, and there were probably twice as many more. These are from Daiso, and I just love the earthy colors. I love the variety. So that is it for our basic single colors. Let's get into some fun patterns. First of all, we do have some shiny metallic tape. So I'm not huge into metallic, but these were really fun. So maybe we'll use them, maybe we won't. These are our fun patterns. We have some fruit, some lovely warning signs, and then some space ones. I have to say, fruit, least favorite. This is actually what made me want to do the dollar washi tape challenge. I bought these because they were just so darn cute. And I really want to make some sort of, I don't know, bad scene with blood and stuff. We'll see. And then these, of course, I love the colors. The gradient between each of these is just so cute. We have clouds, we have space, we have spacemen, this lovely little scene of the sunset. I mean, these are just so cute. For $1, less than $1. Wow. It seems like I was really feeling that space theme, so next up we do have some additional space star pattern, and then we have some astrological space star ones. These are pretty cute. Again, we'll see if we come up with something to use them. And some additional cute ones. We have this maybe sort of space sparkly one. And then this one, I was just really intrigued because it is lacy. And I think that's really fun because it's not your basic shape. So there you go. And finally, we have two big fat gradients. I was really interested when I saw these because number one, they're really thick, so that'll be nice to cover up a big space, but also that gradient looks really fun. So we'll see if we can find a way to use this. Next up, let's take a look at our trinkets and storage. First off, we have this adorable little washi tape dispenser that looks like a cat. Let's set it up. All right, so we've got our little cat dispenser. We're gonna open up its head and then separate its body. So the washi tape I chose is the shimmery pink, I guess because it's gonna look like a tongue, yeah? Oh gosh, it got stuck. Put the head on. And then we've got our little cat tongue dispenser. Oh, it doesn't rip very well. Let's try that again. I mean, it is $1, so... Oof. It could be better. It could be better. I mean, it is cute. Maybe it's the washi tape. Maybe it's the thing. Who knows? Next up, we have the masking tape cutter in the clear variety. Now, if you recall in my last washi tape video, this cost 380 yen. So what you do is you clip it on your washi tape, and these both cost $1. So for a fourth of the price, or is that more like an eighth of the price? Let's see if it's worth it. Though it looks like, unlike our expensive version where you only have one side where you can cut the tape, you do have the option of either using the bigger cutting side or the smaller, more fine side. I don't know if you can see that. Maybe? Who knows? Let's go ahead and try it. I'm going to use it on the smaller cutting side because I trust that a little bit more. Slides nice. Let's see if we can't... Oh, Yeah, it's a little bit of a rough cut. Or is it the products? I don't know. Let's try the big fat side. Maybe that's supposed to create a pattern. It looks like it tried to create the pattern, but it didn't really do well. Here are additional cutters that go on your washi tape in a much more plain variety than the other two. All right, so here is our little thing. We just open it up like so, and then we will put it on a roll of washi tape, hook it in, and then let's see. It's also kind of on the tight side. It doesn't slide very easily, but it yeah, okay. That one cut a lot nicer. Personally, I would just rather use scissors. All right, let's move on to storage. This is actually a storage and cutter combo. Let's go ahead and fill it up and see what it looks like. And cuts like. Hold on, we've got some lovely English. It says, width 15 millimeters of the tape contains 5. Wow. All right, here is our clear container. Let's open it up and fill it up with some pre-peeled washi tape because no one wants to see me struggle. All right, so let's see how well this works. Okay, let's say I want some blue tape. You know, I'll just, oh geez. Okay, hold on. Let me show you guys what happened. I want some red tape. And it's just like, no, I'm gonna stick. I guess you could pull it upwards and kind of open it and then peel. Oh, jeez. Okay. You know what? It got the job done, and you know what? Look at that. That's cute. It got a decent little pattern of cut. And last but not least, my favorite, we do have a little storage container in my favorite plain brown paper color. I love it. Now, as you guys know, I did buy one of these with the normal washi tape. So for comparison, here is our $1 store storage thing, very similar to our other one. Let me show you the other one I have. This isn't even the biggest option they had at the store I bought this. This is actually $18. This is $1. So I'm not really sure how many you can store in there, maybe 10 total. So this one you can store quite a few more, as you can see. A lot more sturdier. I can already tell that, I mean, it's $1. The edges are a little rough, but I still think this is really cute. I'm a sucker for these plain box things. So let's go ahead and fill this one and see how many rolls of tape we can hold. The sizing is very strange. It looks like you can almost put in more than this. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It looks like you can almost put in 6, but not quite. And then like a big one doesn't fit. So it's a very awkward size. Why is it so tall? None of my washi tape is that tall, so I'm just kind of like confused. I mean, I guess this one's a little bit on the bigger side. Maybe that's why. There just seems to be a lot of empty, unused space in this, but it's still very cute. Very, very spacious in there. But there it is. All right, we have tried all of our gadgets and I've shown you all of the washi tape. We have our storage, we have our cutting utensils, our cute patterns. I'm ready to get to creating something, so let's sketch out some ideas. Oh, actually, hold on. There was a lot of comments actually in my other washi tape that I should decorate the box with the washi tape. And I'm really into like plain looking things like this, so I absolutely love the plain look of this. But because this one is so much smaller and I feel like I'd probably use it less and it's only $1, I figured, hey, let's decorate this box really quick and then we can get to making illustrations. How's that sound? Does that sound great? Okay, cool. Let's decorate the box. But before I got into it, I was really curious about the transparency and difference in quality between the quote-unquote normally priced washi tape. Comparing the transparency between the two tapes, there really wasn't much of a difference, but something I found out was this tape is not very sticky. This time lapse is only 30 minutes of footage, and you can see that the tape really starts to curl up, and then after a whole day, it really curled up. So that's really unfortunate, and honestly, kind of a big deal because the whole point of the tape is that it's supposed to stick to things. So definitely something I end up struggling with, though. Look at the white tape. The white tape did just fine. Anyways, let's get to decorating that box. So I kind of did my best to have the best of both worlds. I decorated it, but also kind of kept it plain because, like I said, I really like that plain brown paper look. So I started off by decorating the spine. I really had no plan going into this, but I decided to take inspiration from the apple tape and created this abstract apple on the front. And on the back, I created a knife, but then turned it into this weird abstract melting apple. But I do have to say my favorite part about this was actually the lace. I really wasn't sure that I was going to use that in any sort of illustration, and I just thought it would look so cute, the white lace on the brown. It was perfect. So this is a very simple decoration, but I hope that satisfies those of you that wanted me to decorate the last one. All right, so let's get to drawing now. So the washi tape that I really want to focus on using are going to be the space ones, and then of course these adorable caution tape ones. I think these two are going to be my themes for our two arts in this video. So let's start brainstorming. I love how much time I'm putting into this space background when it's just a sketch. Like, what am I doing? Why am I wasting my time? I think I just really like to draw space, stars, and galaxies. It's just a lot of fun. Now we need to put a character in here, so whether it be a spaceship, or maybe an alien, or maybe an astronaut. I don't know why this just entered my mind. Maybe because I've been living off of carrots since I've been self-quarantined. Seriously, what are you supposed to eat when you depend on someone else to bring you food and you don't want to make them cook or prepare literally anything? So, I've been literally living off of carrots past week. I was thinking this might be really cute. Oh geez, as like a carrot spaceship. I mean, that's pretty cute, right? Of course, we need to have at least one bunny looking through the window. Oh my gosh, look at him. Okay, and then maybe I bet some of those gradients would actually look really good as a planet. Maybe I should not do an alien. Okay, if I do an alien, let's make it something very small and cute. So maybe we can recreate something very similar to this with washi tape. Let's find out. I brought back thin watercolor paper from Japan and I don't really like it, so I decided to use it for this piece and I cut right through it. So let that be a warning to you. Use your thickest paper for art like this. So this piece ended up turning out a little bit more abstract than I had anticipated, but I'm really trying to push myself outside of my normal tendencies. I want the grass to be green, I want the sky to be blue, I want everything to be nice and clean and perfect. So I really tried to experiment and get outside of my comfort zone for this illustration. Though I did keep the subject matter very similar. I don't know how many times in the past few months I've drawn a circle of space with a spaceship or spaceman or something around it, but honestly it's just something I really enjoy, so whatever. So the first thing I really wanted to experiment with in this piece was with the space. Now, like I said, I like everything to be clean and perfect and normal. So going into this piece, I was originally going to use the black washi tape with the white and gold. They're squares, but they kind of look like stars, and create a normal looking space. You know, a black space with our white and shiny stars in the background. But I had so many different shades of blue, shades of purple, and obviously we had quite a few washi tapes that were just straight up sky or space themed. So I thought it would be really cute to sort of patchwork quilt our space together with all of these different space and blue and purple shades and just really see if we can't come up with something a little bit more fun, a little more, you know, outside of the norm that I would normally do. And to be honest, I really enjoyed the effect. I think it looks really fun, really cute. There's a lot going on. I just love the variety. I love that it's not just black with stars. Though, that being said, I think that maybe if I was going to do something like this again, I would probably have to have the subject matter around the space to be a little bit more on the simple side. As this illustration progresses, you will see just how colorful and busy and there's just so much going on that I don't think it really came together as one cohesive piece, but it was still a lot of fun to experiment with something that I wouldn't normally do. So I am really happy with that. Honestly, I think if I just had the space background with a couple of planets and asteroids and no subject matter, just a space background, I think it would have been nice. But I think there's just too much going on. I think going into this illustration, it was a really cute idea. I really like the carrot spaceship. If you can't tell, and you probably can't, those are potato asteroids or just whatever rocks float around in space. I don't know space terminology. And I love our radish planet. I tried to make the flame or whatever stuff is coming out of the back of the spaceship to look more like flames or sci-fi blast stuff and not so much just here's a carrot with greenery coming out of it. Maybe that just added to it not looking like a carrot, but the colors I think are just a little bit obnoxious when it comes to the ship. But I still had a lot of fun with this piece. I discovered putting my X-Acto knife into my compass and cutting perfect circles. I mean, look how cool. The background and especially the windows in the spaceship, they are perfect circles. I mean, how satisfying are those circles? In the end, the spotlight of our silhouetted space in the background honestly just kind of looks like another planet. It doesn't even look like space. It actually just looks like I used the negative space around this illustration as a white space. Literally a white space, outer space. And the circle in the background, because it has all of those stripes of different layers and colors, it really just looks like a planet back there, which I'm not mad about. It looks pretty cool. It's just not what I was going for, but I was really happy to experiment. But like I mentioned before, the biggest struggle I had with this piece was definitely the tape peeling up because it wouldn't stick. Okay, well here's an idea. Since I do have so many shades of blues, we have some shades of blue greens, I think we should play around with some more water. I love playing around with the transparency of washi tape. So that always makes me really want to go towards water effects with washi tape, since washi tape is transparent and so is water. They're kind of a perfect fit. So say we have this box, and then we can put some of the washi tape on it that has the caution tape on it. The washi tape that has the caution tape on it. You know what I mean. I'll even try to remember to put a lily pad down before I put down the water of his body, so it looks like there's a lily pad inside of him. Obviously, again, a very simple illustration, but I think the technique of layering the washi tape is where it's going to get kind of difficult, which is going to be fun. I think it'll look cool. Yeah, I like it. I like both these ideas. I think they're really fun. Great. Going into this piece, obviously, as you saw from the sketch, I had originally planned on this being a character design focused on the transparency of the tape. It was just going to be a simple character on a white background, nothing fancy. But then I just got kind of into the idea of creating a fully illustrated background piece using washi tape. Scary, but just something that I wanted to play around with, and I really enjoy making these washi tape illustrations, so I wanted to go for it. Now obviously my backgrounds and all of my art are quite simple, so this is no exception. Basically, I just wanted to put our water creature in a box in a room. So I thought it would be really fun to play around with layering washi tape as a carpet and cutting out all of the textures of it and layering it and just seeing what we could create with that. So I was super excited to layer all of our carpet pieces, but first I wanted to put down our cardboard box because I wanted to layer the carpet around the box and make it look like it was actually physically in the space. And as much as I did want to play around with the transparency of the tape, I wanted that to be more for our water creature, and I didn't want our cardboard box to steal that effect, I guess, and distract from the transparency of our creature. So what I ended up having to do was layer our cardboard box brown 3 times. It was definitely repetitive, but it wasn't difficult. It was just more annoying to have to put down layers of 3 pieces of tape just to make sure that it wasn't too transparent. Thankfully, with the darker brown, you only needed 1 piece, and it was really interesting that I was able to put down the dark brown first and then put the light brown on top of the dark brown to create a 3rd brown color that I was able to use for shading the box. So once the box was finished, I was super happy with how the effect turned out of that shading. Not only are we able to play around with transparency and liquids with this tape, but now we can even play around with shading and layering to make different colors. I love it. I feel like every time I use washi tape to create illustrations, I figure out a new way or a new technique to use it, and it's just so much fun. I feel like washi tape, although not meant for illustration, is just such a fun and interesting way to think about illustration and do different things. Speaking of different things, changing up our sketch once again, I sort of have left our gore idea, I suppose, and I just wanted to focus on using all 4 of these caution tape washi tapes. They're my favorite, and I just wanted to see different ways that I could incorporate them into this illustration. So obviously the first way is to put the warning caution tape in the background on the wall, which honestly is kind of sloppy and I kind of regret, but I really just wanted more transparent things behind our monster. So I guess in that sense it worked. And although I did go ahead and put a lily pad behind our creature for that transparent effect, I do end up cutting out all of the details inside of our creature, like the fish and other plants, just because from experience, having less details in the water, the better. Putting the caution do not cut with knife tape on the box was obviously obvious, but trying to have it wrap around the box at a different angle obviously didn't work quite as well, but I still think the bad perspective is silly and cute and fun, so I do like that. As simple as it is, I love that the fragile sticker is literally just put on there as is. And this is when I started to really incorporate our cutting utensils to create texture. I thought it would be really interesting and add to it being a sticker that was put on a box by incorporating the zigzag texture you got from the cutter tools. And this is when I really embraced that texture when creating the signpost. Yes, there is a signpost sticking out of a carpet. Don't question it. When creating the danger, watch out sign, I was so into using that ripped texture to create the raw edge of the wood post. And I think it just turned out so much fun, even though I wasn't able to even layer them perfectly on top of each other. I think that also helped create a sort of 3D look to the posts. And especially the carpet. I think the carpet turned out maybe not so much looking like carpet, but I think the effect is really fun. And it's definitely something something that I would like to explore for future washi tape illustrations. I also really like the colors of this one. The pastel green, the pastel blue, and the pastel pink especially reminds me of maybe cherry blossoms on the ground. So this is obviously my favorite of the two illustrations. It was just a lot of fun, and I think the outcome is very cute. Personally, I would rather pay an extra 40 cents per washi tape roll to make sure that the washi tape sticks, which makes me want to find out what sort of washi tape options Western stores have. Though I'm gonna have to wait for all of this health situation to blow over. And with that, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Stay golden. And now a huge thank you to all of my patrons for all of their support. You guys are seriously amazing, especially during the times we are going through. I can't thank you enough. Do you want secret sketches, early access to my videos, and more? Check out the link to my Patreon in the description. Your support is greatly appreciated. All right, see you guys next time. Bye.